Hello, friends. Today, there is a very important topic we want to discuss. Our discussion is that American elections are coming up, and there are four Indian women who are, or you can say, Indian natives who are now Indian Americans, and they are influencing the elections in America. All four of them held very high positions, first of all. Secondly, also they have a following in America. They are influencers also in a very large way. And what are they doing? They are going to decide who is going to be the next US president. We're going to talk about it in details with Umesh Agarwal. He is, analyst who's been coming on my channel for a long time. People love his analysis, and today this important topic we would like to discuss with him. Umesh ji, namaskar.
Jai Siya Ram.
Jai Siya Ram. Umesh ji, you think Indian influence is increased that much that now four Indian women or Indian Americans are going to decide the next US president?
See, I remember around 10 to 20 years back, there was a person named as Bobby Jindal who was initially Florida. He was, I think, the governor of Louisiana, I believe. Okay. But suddenly, after 10, 15 years, I'm referring to multiple names cropping up. You can see the presidential candidate, Kamala Harris is there. Then you have the spouse of the running vice president, presidential candidate vice president, Vance wife, Usha Vance is there. We have a person with the name Nikki Haley who had represented, think, America in the United Nations as well. Then another lady, uh,
Tulsi.
Tulsi Gabbard is there. Okay, and she was also, I think, a Democratic nominee, and she was a challenger to Biden. But eventually, due to the U.S., due to the Democratic regime policies of inviting aliens, as they say in America, illegal migrants, she had resigned from the Democratic Party, and she's virtually endorsing Trump. So I come from a home state of Chennai, Tamil Nadu in India, and two of these ladies have a direct connection to the state. One is Kamala Harris, who claims that she belongs her ancestors belong from Tamil Nadu, and Usha Ven's father was also a part of IIT Madras. So it's good to see that the influence is happening in America. Definitely, one more question is surprising to me. Why is that, in spite of having so much wide representation in the Biden administration as well, and in spite of having influential Indians uh, in the administration, in the Biden administration and the previous Trump administration as well, we have not been able to form a force to counter, to actually, what do you say, to further the interest of India. I think the American Indians have failed horribly in that front, and it's really and it's really I think it, it's pathetic as well to know that they have failed in particularly in front of the Pakistanis. What do you say?
You think Indian Americans have failed in front of the Pakistanis?
Yes.
Why our people are the biggest CEOs and they are only cleaning the toilets in the same office? How can you say that Indians are failing in front of Pakistanis?
If you see that, definitely we have Sundar Pichai, we have Satya Nadella, they are part of the big tech and other things. But I fail to understand that Indian Americans are divided. American Bhartiyas are divided. They are known as American Hindus, American Gujaratis, American Teluguites, American Canadians. And right now, as somebody has stated, now they are further divided into which academy they have come from and other things. So all these deep-rooted divisions have actually, what you say, diluted our voice. You can see in America itself, the Prime Minister effigy is burned repeatedly. What are the tech CEOs doing? Have they even mentioned, have they even condemned the Khalistani activity which is happening in America? You tell me, in spite of having Vivek Ramaswamy as well, he's the only one who I think he's non-apologetic of his Hindu roots. But the other four, they try to portray themselves more Americanized than the Americans themselves. So that's the reason. In spite of having all these four people, our interests are not being secured. And if you see these candidates, they flaunt their Indian roots to get the votes, but they never try to protect our nation's interests. And never they are, and you will never find them supporting their Hindu nationality or supporting the Indian nationality and the civilizational connect. Bobby Jindal converted to Christianity. Okay, he embraced Christianity. So what I believe that on the contrary, American Pakistanis, they have been very much affected. You could see, in spite of stealing nuclear technology from Netherlands and a friend from North Korea, they have been able to avoid sanctions. Our Hindu girls are being abducted in Pakistan and being married to 60, 70, 80-year-old men. What is the American Congress doing? You found
Nothing.
you found Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad. What did you do? You found Mullah Omar in Pakistan. Pakistan is giving the sanctuary to to Afghan uh, in, to Afghan militants who are working against the Americans, and Pakistan themselves were taking American aid. They were playing both the American administration and Afghanis. So we should appreciate them the way they are organized themselves. They have a clear objective. On the contrary, I believe that Indian diaspora in America has failed India remarkably. I do not see them coming out and supporting in front of the Prime Minister. When the Indian Prime Minister comes, they will go in large numbers and cheer them. Why is the same diaspora not going and countering the Khalistanis? I was appalled to see that effigy of Prime Minister is being disrespected. How can they allow this to happen? I see many American Indians quoting their selfies with the Prime Minister. They say that we have met the Prime Minister, we are really things. But boss, when the same Prime Minister is being disrespected, you remain quiet. What does it say?
Hmm. But tell me one thing, Meji. There are two big lobbies in America. I understand that. One is Indian Americans. All the high tech companies, they are the CEOs. Even World Bank now. You name any institute, you will see our people leading those companies. But the Jews, they're controlling the money. You also know that the Jewish lobby is very, very strong. Indian this lobby is not less also. But the Jews have a better standing, better saying, no matter what they do all over the world. Nobody speaks against them. Why it is that Hindus are being disregarded, disrespected, but even though we are controlling, all the high tech industries, why is it that we do not get the same respect as Jews or even bloody Pakistanis?
See, the Jews, this community really gets my respect. In 1949, the land of Israel was created. And even today, there are 95, the population of Israel is 95 lakhs. And Jews form only 70 lakhs. 25 lakhs are Arabs, Israeli Arabs. And they are being surrounded by hostile enemies. In spite of that, they won the first two Arab wars, which happened earlier. And today also, you see that there is a war between Israel and Iran, and how Israel takes action. You could see what happened in the pager, how the pager and walkie-talkies exploded. You could see how they have neutralized the Iranian nuclear program. Even in 1972, when the Arabs killed 11 Israeli athletes in the Munich Olympics, the Mossad went out all together to take out each and every person who was responsible for this act. Jews have a very great affinity towards the motherland, but the same thing is not with the Indians. They will definitely come Bharat Mata ki Jai and other things, but when it comes to action, I don't think so. Anything is happening. Okay, they are. I would love them that they are what do you say, adaptive citizens. They are conforming with the laws and other things. But if you allow others to spit on you and you don't say anything, what is the respect? What do you have the respect on you? You are definitely
No,
you are definitely the top CEOs. You are definitely having having the leverage. But if you don't exercise for the benefit of the motherland, then what is the point? I would like to add another thing. I would even appreciate the Chinese as well, the American Chinese, whatsoever they are there. The American Chinese is much more patriotic. They will not mind to steal American tech, and they will definitely ship it to the motherland. The Chinese do the reverse engineering. Maybe we make fun of them, copyright, but we have to admit that they are nationalists, they are patriotic. Maybe the CCP is controlling from behind. So
no,
yes,
definitely. If you see the Chinese or even the way you explained the Pakistanis or Jews, they really have love for their country, and they stand with it. They do not even bother whether their jobs will go away by supporting Modi or India. They will do it. They will do for their motherland. But our people, I think so. They've always been selfish, thinking about themselves and about their families and not about the country. And this is what is appealing. And but we know the problem. How do we bring all of them together? There should be some solution also.
see, the first thing the diaspora has to understand that if anybody says anything against your prime minister, they have to come forward. I remember in 2019, when the Article 370 and 35A was abrogated, there was a dedicated attack by the Pakistani diaspora in London against the Indian High Commission. And the Indian people in London came out and supported the Indian High Commission. They sweep the entire High Commission. And there was a dedicated group which was formed to actually fight this. We are not finding the same in America. Why is the Sikh diaspora, the Sikh nationalist diaspora has quiet? They come out, okay, we are against Khalistanis. But what do they do? Do they actually fight against them? You know that Khalistanis are supported by the CIA, CCP, and ISI.
Yeah.
And the way you can see repeatedly Hindu temples are being desecrated. What is Kamala Harris doing? What is Nikki Haley doing? What is Usha Vance doing? Have they raised these issues in the American elections as well? We just say that we ourselves are inflating our importance. I don't think so. The American diaspora has that influence. They may be they may be feeling that we have an influence, but certainly looking from outside, I don't think so.
Umeji, you are really very blunt on this one. And to some extent, I also agree with you that on the face of it, it looks like four Indian Americans are going to literally decide the fate of the next president. Three of them supporting Trump, and one of them herself is standing for the president. But when we look at the divisions in the Indian society there, I feel that what you are saying is right, that our influence is zero. On the paper, means we can say that on paper our influence looks huge, but in actual, nobody takes us seriously. Is this how we can term ourselves or our community?
Certainly, I believe that this is the actual truth. You don't need to
So,
you don't need to go to the Madison Square or any other stadium to welcome the prime minister. Okay, you have to stand for the prime minister when the Khalistanis are burning his effigies. When you find on the effigies, they are hitting the prime minister with slippers. It pains me from here, and even I'm very much sure that it pains you as well. But why these
of
guys?
course,
But why these guys have not even mentioned in their email address also? They don't even tweet it against it. Many times I have posted all these videos on the internet and on LinkedIn on various social media profiles. I don't get the support as well. For the fear of them, of these, they are being feared of being called an Islamophobia. See, this is a thing. You have to appreciate Pakistanis. They they make us the right to protest as also they can make the Indians as feeling guilty. We
that's
don't
true,
have the
that's
voice
true.
also.
But Umeji, tell me one more thing. Don't you feel the way things are moving now? American elections, Chinese are already entering into it. We have seen that how much funding is going pumped in so that the Democrats they again won, they win and they come. Trump, they do not want to see him because if Trump comes, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to dismantle China and Chinese economy completely. So that's why China is under threat. The other side, we also see that deep state is now joining hands with people like Rahul Gandhi and trying to dismantle India also. Don't you feel that Modi ji also needs to do something big so that we can save our country and we can take our country forward? American Indians are not going to do anything for India. We have understood it. But what about Modi ji? Doesn't he need to take something so huge that all these Indians, Indian Americans, Indians all come together under one roof, under one flag?
See, I think directly Indian Prime Minister cannot do it because it will lead. It would give an indication that India is directly meddling in American internal affairs. But what you can do is you do have the overseas friends of BJP. You have the Hindu American Foundation. You must be having the offshoot of RSS BHP in America working. You have the temples. There definitely you can talk about the politics. You can make your choices well. You can collectively come out with a letter condemning the treatment which was meted to the Prime Minister effigy. You can condemn the Khalistanis. You can be a unifying voice. For that, you need to have a civilizational connect. Apart from Vivek Ramaswamy, who in American leader, which American leader flaunts his Hindu legacy, his Hindu civilizational connect? Does Nikki Haley does that? No. Does Kamala Harris? No. Only for vote she will say that she belongs from she is of a Tamil origin. But apart from that, she is also now she is skeptical herself to be called even a brown. She turns herself to be a black. So this is a
Yes.
problem. They don't have the civilizational connect. Unless and until you force the American leaders to toe the line, and unless and until the American Indians, the American Bhartiyas come out and support the Prime Minister, support the civilizational connect, and force the leaders to raise the issue of Hindu girls in Pakistan, of about Hindu atrocities in Bangladesh. We should have leaders of that line. But certainly we don't have anybody like that. Nobody is proactive.
Nobody is proactive. So, Meji, that means according to you, and now even I believe that Indians, they look very strong when it comes to on paper, but when it comes to actual, they have absolutely no respect, they have no standing, and they are not together. They are being used just like pawns when it comes to elections. And after that, nobody even cares about them. Isn't it the same story what we see in India also? Here also, Hindus are being used as pawns when it comes to elections. After that, nobody cares.
Absolutely, yes. Hindus are being used, abused, and misused. And this
So
is
that
the
means
truth.
we are allowing them.
Yes, definitely we are loving them. How many, have any American leader spoken about the Tirupati Laddu issues also? You find that
Nobody.
Hezbollah leader being killed, and we find protest in Jammu and Kashmir. We find protest across the Muslim Ummah. But for the Tirupati issue, any American Indian has spoken, any American leader has spoken. There
Nobody.
lies a
And they will
difference.
never speak also. They will not speak also because we are apologetic Hindus all over the world. We are not proud practicing Hindus. Not we. I am in China country where you cannot take the name of God. You cannot take use name of Ayurveda. We have opened a Ayurvedic center here. We have meditation classes going on in that center itself, sitting in China. But our Hindus all over the world, they always been apologetic. I don't know why. And they stand with the enemy. They are ready to stand with Rahul Gandhi also when he goes to America. The biggest threat to India's success is Rahul Gandhi, and they still have the audacity of going and standing next to him, but not with our Hinduism, not our country, not with Modi ji. And that is why they are taken for granted. I agree with
I,
you. And I
I'll
am
add one.
sure some
I,
American.
I'll add one more thing. You are in a free country. You are in a free world. The American Indians. But Sumit, you are living in China for the past 3 decades, and there you are spreading India in your own way. Okay, you are trying to bring out the issues related to China. You are trying to bring out the practices. You are trying to bring out. You are trying to spread the Indian practices in China. That is really great. You are trying to promote trade with China. You are trying to promote. That is important. You are trying to act as a person who wants to rebuild trust on self-respect. But American Indians, in spite of being in a democratic country, they are working for their own self-interest rather than nation's interest. This is really
I agree with
appalling.
you.
This does not even stand for American Indians. It stands for the Canadian Indians. It stands for the Australian Indians as well, and even the Indians who are in New Zealand. If the UK Indians are getting
Anyways,
united, I would say that in UK I do see Indians getting united. That is a voice. But all the other places, we need Indians to come as an organization. And I would ask the BJP leadership to strengthen the overseas friends of BJP. Give them the ammunition, give them the money and everything, give them the support to spread a narrative about India's interest. We do not want Indians abroad to come out and click a selfie with the Prime Minister and flaunt their connections on social media. We want Indians who are actually working on the ground to safeguard Indian interests.
I'm definitely going to share this video with some high up people in RSS and make sure that their organizations at least start working on bringing all the Indian communities, instead of being Gujarati, Tamil, or Punjabi, all of them coming together as Indians, as Bharatiya, and taking our interest forward instead of just being happy that we have four Indian Americans who are going to decide the next US president. Yes, you might use your influence to decide the next US president. But what is your value? That is written in the books which are taught in the schools. That Hinduism is an intolerant religion. They are people who do not value other people's religions. These are the things which are taught in your schools, and you never protested about it. The day you start doing it, that is the day when your influence will be even higher than what the Israelis or the Pakistanis, the toilet cleaning Pakistanis, have over you. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
One,
Meji, for your.
I'll add one more thing. We have to learn from Modi ji. He was able to open an Hindu temple in the Middle East. This is the type of soft power we require. We want people
That
to
is true.
embrace our culture. Let them not embrace our faith. Let them embrace our culture. Saudi Arabia is now teaching yoga in their school. They are revamping. They are even teaching Ramayana and Mahabharata. So this type of
That's
soft
true.
power is required. And in spite of the being in America, American Indians could not do anything on the ground. I believe that many of my American friends would be angry with me, but brothers and sisters, this is the truth. I don't need you to click selfies with the Prime Minister and flaunt them in your DP or other things. I need you to work on the
That
ground
is
and you speak
okay.
and post your congressman to take a stand for us, not organizing dismantle global Hindutva campaign across the globe. This is what I would require to you from you. Thank you.
Umesh, your message is very loud and clear. I'm sure we are going to be cursed, but it is not a matter of cursing, it's a matter of taking action. And this is time to take action. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Jai
Thank
Hind.
you. Jai Hind.